Namaste. A very warm welcome to all of you to my presentation on this importance of yogic breathing techniques in prevention and management of COVID-19 pandemic. Myself, Dr. Nitesh MK, Assistant Professor and Medical Officer, Alwas College of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences and Hospital, Mudbidri, Karnataka. I take this privilege to share few knowledge on the importance of yoga in prevention and management on this beautiful platform. First of all, I congratulate Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai and School of Life Science for creating such a beautiful program, that is International Symposium on Yoga and Alternative Medicine to combat COVID-19, which is the need of the hour. And I am also thankful to Dr. S. Emalata, Professor and Dean, for giving and organizing such a beautiful programs for this on this vacation of COVID-19 pandemic. Dear friends, I wish you take all your concentration for other 20 minutes to give on this presentation to know the importance of yogic breathing techniques in prevention and management of this COVID-19 pandemic. We all know COVID-19 has ruined most of their lives and most of the people worldwide suffering with this pandemic. Without no proper medicine and without a known importance of taking such a kind, so yoga and naturopathy and other alternative system of medicine has a huge role in controlling and also in preventing the furthermore death and disability worldwide. I request you all to know the importance of yoga and spread the knowledge of yoga all over the world and to your family, your friends, so that they can improve their physical and mental level. Dear friends, we all know the COVID-19 has created a huge threat over the world. It is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. The World Health Organization declared it as a health emergency in the 11th February 2020 and a pandemic worldwide. We all know what is this COVID-19. We all know what the safety measures we need to take. We all know how to combat this disease. I am not going to deep in this. It has caused severe illness and death. It future sustains person to person spread worldwide. High risk for the elderly, people with comorbidities such as high blood pressure, heart disease, lung disease, diabetes, autoimmune disorders. In the second wave, we are also face these kind of situations like this COVID-19 as more evident in people with middle aged. And in the third wave, they also the expert also saying that you can predict the most of the people affected with the younger age also. The incubation period, that incubation means the person have this virus but he doesn't shows any type of symptoms. That is the danger. But when he exposed to the other people, if they infected, that will be more complicated. So incubation period, the time between the infection and appearance of the first signs of symptoms is up to 14 days. So we will tell the quarantine, the maintaining of the social distance, all those things are very important. My friends, second wave of corona has affected our country very badly, financially, mentally, physically, socially, in all the ways of dimensions of the health. There is too rapid spread of infection among the population. Effective prevention of treatment of COVID-19 remains a top priority towards the cultivating of this pandemic. See, still there is no one single remedy or there is no one single medicine saying that this can be completely cured of the COVID-19. Now the vaccines also there, it is developed, vaccines are mass developed to develop an herd immunity. Still, in the modern medicine, the allopaths are also not properly claiming a single medicine is a remedy for COVID-19. At this present scenario, we have facing most of the challenges that cure from the disease or COVID-19 infection. What is the cure? We have first we got HCQ, that hydrochloroquine as a one of the thing. Then remdesivir, then come steroids, then come various types of medications, antibiotics like azithromycin, all those things. But still there is no specific what is this to be cured. And prevention of infection, very important. We all know daily from opening the mobile phone, calling someone, everywhere we will be aware of this COVID-19 to maintain social distancing, distance between the two people, wearing the mask, using the hand sanitizers, and safeguarding the environment risk, and also the personal hygiene, mental hygiene, everything we are all aware. So another thing is reducing the post-COVID complication. It is very important. That is what the post, we will think once the COVID came negative, it is what the final. But the upcoming things after the post-COVID pandemic or post-COVID exposure of your body, what are the challenges you should face? That also we should target. Like rehabilitation. Measures have been taken to cure the infections through the medical management. Dear friends, now we directly go to the importance of role of yoga. Yoga is one of the ancient science in the Indian philosophy, and we believe that Lord Patanjali is one of the important pioneer or the god of yoga. And yoga is not only the spiritual tool. Now you can ask me how it is going to helpful in this COVID-19 pandemic. As I all know, we should always believe in a term, in a proverb, that is prevention is better than cure. Prevention strategies, when you take the alternative medicine, plays a first role, that is the yoga. Yoga, which is something knowing your inner soul. So it is also called as the merging of Atma with the Paramatma. Don't think yoga something spiritual which is stick on to some community, stick on to some religion, or stick on to some persons only. Anyone can do yoga, but with a proper measures, with a proper direction, and with a proper guru. Simply stretching the hand, simply doing some pranayama without knowing proper procedure, it is of waste of time and waste of your energy. So better you know more knowledge about yoga and adopt this yoga in your lifestyle. So yoga also refers to the inner science comprising of a variety of methods through which human being can achieve mastery over his own system. Yoga has proved itself catering to both material and spiritual upliftment of humanity. Dear friends, in this 27th International Yoga Day on June 21st, what we are observing, be at home and be with yoga. In this vacation, your institution is also doing this such a kind of symposium. More than 180 countries have accepted this yoga, and they made it as one of their daily practices. But as Indians, we have discovered or we have spread this knowledge of yoga, but ourselves we are not practicing yoga up to the mark. Any diseases comes, we just stick on to the medications, but not going for the other alternative medicines to combat these kinds of diseases. Such a nice example, if you take the country called Vietnam, which practices this pranayama yoga on post-COVID care patients and all the patients with the middle-aged community, they also reduced the risk and risk factors, and the risk of exposing them to the COVID-19 has reduced. That also you can see in the social medias. Yoga is also commonly understood as a therapy or exercise system for the health and fitness. Generally, what we will tell that is as a therapy or something exercises which gives the health and the fitness. More than that, yoga has impact on all the levels: psychological, mental, spiritual, physical, and economical also, which creates by balancing your body and the immunity. And various researchers also suggest that yogic practices are shown to decrease the oxidative stress markers and also regulates the increased cellular viability and reduces the cellular aging. You can see, open the PubMed or Google Scholar, lakhs together of papers on research papers on yoga suggesting that it is a evidence based medicine or evidence based practices just can be used as a preventive tool in furthermore damaging your body by the diseases. So the goal of yoga is more far reaching. Physical and mental health are natural consequences of yoga. Yoga works on the level of one body, mind, emotions and the energy. Dear friends, when you take a medicine for any kind of disease, ill-advised medicine, I am not against by the telling that, any ill-advised or simply some people, they practice themselves for taking a medication for every disease. So that is only acting on your physical body. But the yoga works on the level of the body and also impact on your mind and also impact on your emotions and also vitalize your energy. In overall the way, it will be very helpful to you gain the more power of health with practicing of yoga. Yoga does not adhere to any particular region, belief, system or community. See, this is not a like if even though it is scientific also, even though it is a philosophical, it is more of scientific nowadays, and it is not adhere to such religion. Only one religion, like Hindus only should practice. That is not. It should open. So the more than 180 countries are celebrating International Yoga Day and taking the awarenesses of yoga from the Indians and adopt them in their countries, and they are building a healthy state or a healthy country. Wherever the healthy person will be there, there the healthy country will be there. So that is very important. It has always been approached as a technology for inner well-being. Anyone who practices yoga without involvement can recap its benefits irrespective of one faith, ethnicity or culture. So, dear friends, by this introduction of the yoga, as the yoga is a life science, it's a philosophical, it's a scientific, it is an evidence-based practice that one could adopt in their everybody's lifestyle to prevent the disease and furthermore to prevent the death and decay. Dear friends, now we'll straightforwardly go the role of yoga in this prevention and management of COVID-19. The main objective of yogic practices in this present pandemic is to improve the general immunity through the population and with the rehabilitation and to combat the vulnerable populations or to target the vulnerable populations like children, elders, those with comorbidities and those patients in isolation, quarantine with or without mild symptoms. I am not saying with every severe what in the ICU you should practice. Yeah, that may also see the postural drainage, the breathing techniques in the prone position as said in the olden days only. But now World WHO, World Health Organization has released a notification saying that prone breathing helps the person to drainage the mucous and helps the increased oxygenation that can be practiced. We should make more than 1 hour in the postural position to help the respiration. This and all are the various factors you can make out. Here, first objective to improve the general immunity. We all know immunity cannot be increased or cannot be gained by eating something or just utilized. Immunity should be balanced, should be economized, should be vitalized by regular practices of yoga. To add on, yogic practices include meditation in COVID-19 cases and those who are in isolation, hospitalization or for psychological care. So we all know, you can see in the media, you can see in the electronic print media, daily they will be saying that more fear of death, so many people are dying due to corona More than the disease, they are dying due to fear. So yoga helps to combat this mental health, which is not done by the medicine itself. So recommended yoga practices during this COVID-19 pandemic on this present scenario, we have tried a trial and error methods, and so many research have also already published on the efficacy of this practices. In that I have taken certain practices like kriyas or cleansing practices, asanas, pranayamas and meditation. In this present, I am only spreading a knowledge on breathing, yogic breathing practices like that is pranayama. The first breathing or kriyas, or what we call the technique in the yoga, which will be very helpful, is with the Kapalabhati kriya. Kapalabhati is nothing but a type of cleansing procedure with a powerful strokes of exhalation. Here, strengthening of the diaphragm and abdominal muscles are very important. It helps in removal of secretions from the lung and cleanses the sinus passages, and it should not be avoided in case of high blood pressure, heart patients and the epilepsy. A Kapalabhati is a technique where you inhale slowly and normally but exhale quickly, where the passive inhalation and the active exhalation will be there. For example, for one inhalation should be passive without much concentration, but the exhalation with more forceful exhalation, you should give more than 30 to 40 strokes for a minute, or more than 90 strokes can also be practiced, where by practicing this Kapalabhati pranayama, there will be stimulation of the vagal activity, result in the increased nitric oxide release, and also the respiratory is decreased, and maintain the normal breathing by improving the lung compliances. So Kapalabhati cleansing procedure is very important tool in combating this COVID-19. And another, as I already told, the efficacy of prone breathings. We already I already told the different positions of the prone breathing. Now the prone asanas is very much helpful in improving the ventilations like Makarasana, then Bhujangasana and different kinds of asanas which from the laying positions makes breathing easier. And mainly we will come to the pranayama, what my topic, that is breathing techniques. When you see the pranayama, pranasya hayam means any involvement of your internal energy, that is pranayama. Okay, so we have different kinds of pranayamas like Nadi Shodhana pranayama, also called as Anulom Vilom, or alternate nostril breathing, which is very much important, and Bastrika, bellows breath, Brahmari, that is humming bee breath, Ujjayi, that is psychic breath, Shitali, that is cooling breath, and also Shitkari pranayamas. So these are the pranayamas which are helpful to increase the lung compliances by stimulating the vagal activity and by activating the natural free radical nitric oxide to vasodilate the things and increases the surfactants of the lung, and also helpful in the managing this respiratory rate. We'll see one by one. First one is the Nadi Shodhana pranayama, alternate nostril breathing. First, in this simple pranayama technique, it is you should make your hand, one hand in Chin Mudra, another hand in the Nasikagra Mudra. Nasikagra Mudra means in the picture you can see. Here, first you should take slowly and deeply the breath through the left nostril, and then you should release to the right nostril. Again you should take to the right nostril, and again you should release to the left nostril. All this procedure should be very slow, deep, without noisy, and with the involvement of your concentration. If you practice, it will help to facilitate deep breathing, enhance the temperature, calms down the mind, and improves the immunity by activating the natural immunocomplexes like decreasing the levels of the cytokines, and improves the natural killer cells and basophils and eosinophils. See, and another pranayama, that is Bhastrika pranayama, also called as bellows breath. So here Bhastrika pranayama, what you will do, you will inhale slowly and with the flapping of the abdomen you will try to exhale. So here it deepens that is called as bellow breath. As soon as you inhale, your abdomen bulges, exhale, your abdomen sinks. So it deepens the breathing levels and strengthens the lungs, increases the oxygen saturation and cleanses the air passages. This all makes the stimulations or the importance on implication of the respiratory centers located on your hypothalamus and also regulates the proper respiration. And we also another pranayama important, Brahmari pranayama, that is humming bee breath. Here you just tuck your ears, both the ears, with your index finger or any finger and close the entry of the air. Now you inhale and while exhaling you will produce a humming bee sound from your tonsils. So slowly will helpful to stimulate your thyroid gland also. This Brahmari felicitates prolonged exhalation of Makara, increased oxygenation to the sinuses, increase the nitric oxide synthesis, which is very important, and germicidal effects also, and they enhance the immunity and relaxes your facial muscles. Dear friends, I am not saying just in a word. This is all are scientifically proven. Research or evidently they are practicing. This Brahmari pranayama, producing the humming bee sound by closing your ears, produce some kind of energy by chanting the Makara, which balances your vitality and enhances the immunity and also increase the synthesis of nitric oxide. And the other pranayama, another breathing techniques, if you come, that is Shitali pranayama. Shitali, the cooling breath mechanism. You are folding your tongue and making a tunnel shape of your tongue. By the gap of the tongue, by opening the mouth, you are inhaling the air, and closing the mouth, you are exhaling that air to your nose. This is called the Shitali pranayama. Inhale through the curled tongue, close the mouth and exhale through the nose. If you do this procedure for more than 10 to 15 minutes, it helps in cooling down the breath, cools the body, helps to regain the taste, which is one of the complications in the COVID, the anosmia, taste loss, or sensation of the taste or smell or everything is lost, and avoid practice in the polluted areas. This is what will be helpful in the Shitali pranayama. And in the same as the Shitali, we have Shitkari pranayama, that is hissing breath. Here you are cleansing your teeth. You are clenching your teeth. In the gap of the teeth, you are inhaling the air deeply and closing the mouth and exhaling through the nose. Once again, I will repeat, friends. You inhale the air through the gaps of the tongue, teeth, clenched teeth, and closing the mouth and exhaling through the nose. So those who cannot practice Shitali can practice the Shitkari pranayama. So these are some important pictures. You can see how we are practicing or how we are spreading this naturopathy and yoga doctors are spreading this importance of prevention in this COVID-19 pandemic. See, my dear friends, not only this pranayama, the postural drainage. This pranayama will be helpful in postural drainage, which helps to relieve any secretion out of your lungs, and also be carried out while laying on your sides and back to help the drain on the other areas of living. The pulmonary rehabilitation is the need of the hour in this COVID-19 pandemic, should be provided throughout the disease management process. Dear friends, what I am going to suggest is that if you involve, I am not saying you should practice all these 6 pranayamas. I advise you to practice 1 or 2 pranayamas in a daily basis in the morning and the evening time, which regular practices of this you can help to regain your natural health on the lung capacity by stimulating the vagal activity. This results in the increase in the nitric oxide release, and also the respiratory rate will be in the normalized way. And it also has an impact on manipulation of the left nostril through breath, may additionally impact pituitary functions, hypothalamus, pineal gland, and suprachiasmatic nucleus. These are all evidently I can say they can also balance your biological rhythms. So yoga practices are shown to decrease the various kinds of oxidative stress which are the major threat for your body, and also regulates the increased cellular viability and reduces the cellular aging. Dear friends, what you are understood in a summary, in a conclusion in this is, if COVID-19, I am not saying we can control, at least you can adopting by this kind of breathing techniques, yeah, you can control the further more complication, and you can stoppage in the beginning stage itself of the spreading. And also you should teach, not only knowing, but you should teach some 10 people, your family, your relatives, and this society. Let us make a healthier society and a healthier country so that we can able to fight against this COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for your patience listening. I hope I explained up to the point, and I thankful wholeheartedly to the Crescent Institute of Science and Technology and School of Life Science and Dr. Emalata ma'am for creating or arranging or making such a kind of messageable and useful program in this present scenario. Thank you. Thank you so much for your patience listening.